So you've just been diagnosed with Sibo, and now you have all the questions. The diagnosis is just the first part, but what happens next? What questions are you supposed to ask? All of that is coming up today on part 7 of my Sibo series. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah K. Hoffman, aka A Gutsy Girl, and I am here today again to share with you all of the information and the things that I have collected over the years as it relates to Sibo. For those of you who are new here, Sibo stands for Small Intestinal Bacterial Overgrowth. And today, my goal really is to help you understand what you should do next after you get that diagnosis. There are so many things that are probably running through your head, but so that you can channel it and bring it all together and present it to your doctor in the most succinct way, I am here to help you. So what I want you to do is I want you to get out a notepad or a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to follow along and write these 10 questions down. Are you ready for them? Let's go. Okay, question number 1 that you should ask when your doctor tells you, yes, it is confirmed you have Sibo is this: am I hydrogen or methane dominant, or am I presenting with a combination of both hydrogen and methane dominant Sibo? Remember what I had said earlier in a video is that it is very important that you know if you are hydrogen and or methane dominant, because the next steps can really be helpful if you know which one you are. And to that extent, number 2, the next question to write down would be, are there different protocols and ways that you have experience with approaching Sibo based on hydrogen and or methane dominant Sibo? Question number 3. Question number 3 that you should ask is, how are my stomach acid levels? And a follow-up question to that could be, can we do some sort of testing to be sure? Remember, a lot of times with Sibo, people have far too low of stomach acid, and that's why they are not able to appropriately break food down, which then means that bacteria will ferment in the small intestine, causing all sorts of problems. So you really want to understand what the current circumstances are in your gut from a stomach acid standpoint. Question number 4. After you do any length of protocol, how long do you typically recommend patients wait before retesting? Or do you not even recommend that your patients retest? This is a very important question because a lot of people wonder it and they don't know. They don't know when the right time to retest, if at all. For me personally, I sometimes retested, but other times my practitioner and I just went strictly based off of symptoms. But you're going to want to understand what your provider, what their expectations are for this process. Question number 5 is, do you know or have any kind of idea what might be the underlying cause for this overgrowth to be occurring? Because remember, it is awesome to be able to get that Sibo diagnosis that you have been hoping to get so that you can move on. However, once you get rid of the overgrowth, if you don't understand what was causing it to begin with, it is going to come back. And so understanding with your practitioner what the underlying cause is will be critical for moving forward. Question number 6, is there a specific diet protocol that you've had success with your other Sibo patients? This one is very important because you will hear different diets spoken about in the Sibo community. There are many good ones, but the best one is really going to be the one that you do in conjunction with your practitioner, and the one that you are really listening to your body with and around in order to heal. But one question that you absolutely should ask your practitioner to see how much he or she knows about diet as it relates to Sibo is there a diet protocol you might recommend? Question 7, is there any signs that I have other nutritional deficiencies present? And if so, or even if not, can we test to make sure? Remember, one of the most common nutritional deficiencies with Sibo is B12. I was so deficient in my B12 levels when I was diagnosed with Sibo that I had to get injections to my stomach. I am so thankful that I had a practitioner that did all of that testing in conjunction with the Sibo breath test, so that the day I went in to get my Sibo results, I also knew all the things I was deficient in from a nutritional standpoint, B12 being one of them. So I did the injections to my stomach. You may or may not be, but there also might be other things that you might be deficient in. Knowing that, truly knowing that, having tests around that can be critical for the next steps in your healing journey. Question 8, are there possibilities of other overgrowths, infections, etc., in addition to the Sibo? Because remember, very rarely does Sibo occur in and of and by itself. Usually it's co-occurring with something else, at the very least a leaky gut and more. And it's really important that you understand the big picture, not just Sibo siloed off on its own. Otherwise, it will be very hard to get to the bottom of the true problem and to get rid of it forever. Question 9, do you think it's best for me and my situation to go the natural antibiotic, which typically means some sort of herbal protocol route, or do you think that it would be more beneficial for me to have a traditional antibiotic such as rifaximin and or neomycin? This is a question that I'm sure your doctor will bring up to you almost immediately, but if not, and also so that you can suggest that possibly a more natural route might be appropriate for you, ask the question, present the options, tell them to give you the pros and cons for both, and then you and them decide what's going to be best for you. And number 10, the last question that you should definitely make sure to ask once you've been diagnosed with Sibo is this: are there any supplements you might recommend that I try or that I stay away from while treating the Sibo? A supplement is not a cure. It is not a medication. It is not the end all be all, but I will tell you that with everything I have, they are critical, can be critical for your healing journey with Sibo or for anything else. It's a supplement. It's something to be added in addition to all the other things you're doing in order to heal your gut forever. So there you have it, part 7 of this Sibo series. Are there any other questions that you think you might ask your doctor? Leave them in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you again next time.